Why does a simple conversation feel like a knife against your throat? Why does your heart hammer against your ribs like a prisoner trying to break the bars of a cell? You are sitting in a meeting, or standing in line for coffee, or looking at a text message, and your throat constricts. Your palms are damp. You feel the heat rising in your neck, a red flush of shame. You know exactly what you want to say. You have rehearsed the script 1,000 times. In the shower, in the car, in the safety of your own mind. You are articulate. You are firm. You are powerful. But when the moment arrives, when the eyes of the other person lock onto yours, the script evaporates. The resolve crumbles like wet. And you smile. That terrible, plastic smile. You nod. You submit. You say, it is no problem. You say you are happy to help. But it is a problem, and you are not happy. And as you walk away, the shame washes over you. It is a cold, sickening liquid. It coats your insides. You hate yourself for your cowardice. You tell yourself that next time, you will stand your ground. But deep down in the darkest recess of your programming, you know you will not. You believe this is a personality flaw. You believe you are simply too nice, too empathetic, too gentle for this jagged world. You look at the aggressive people around you, and you feel a mix of fear and envy. You wonder if you are broken, if you are defective, if you were born without a spine. You are wrong. This is not kindness. This is not morality. And it is certainly not a defect. This is a malfunction in your threat detection hardware. You are running a survival algorithm that was designed for a world that no longer exists. You are trapping high voltage energy inside a low voltage circuit, and it is melting your wires. You are not weak. You are over-calibrated. You are a high-performance machine, operating in an environment it was not designed for. Welcome to the Watchtower. Today we are going to perform surgery on your fear. We are going to dissect the biology of conflict, and we are going to turn you into something new, something dangerous, something unstoppable. We must strip away the emotions and look at the biological hardware. Why are you terrified of conflict? It is not because you are soft. It is because you are a mammal. We must look at the evolutionary timeline. For 200,000 years, your ancestors lived in small tribes. Dunbar's number suggests these groups were small, perhaps 150 people. In this environment, the tribe was life. The tribe was warmth. The tribe was food. Exile was death. To be cast out of the circle, to be pushed into the wilderness, meant you would starve or be eaten by predators. Therefore, the brain evolved a mechanism to ensure you stayed within the social hierarchy. It prioritized social cohesion above truth, above dignity, above self-expression. This mechanism is located in the anterior cingulate cortex. This is a specific part of your brain. It is responsible for processing physical pain. When you burn your hand, this region lights up. But it is also responsible for processing social rejection. The brain does not distinguish between a broken leg and a difficult conversation. To your hardware, disagreement is damage. Conflict is a laceration. Disapproval is a blow to the head. When you perceive a potential conflict, your amygdala detects a threat, not just to your ego, but to your survival. It interprets the angry glance of a co-worker as the growl of a saber-toothed tiger. It screams danger. It hijacks the prefrontal cortex. This is the CEO of your brain, the logic center, the part of you that knows you should speak up. The amygdala shuts off power to the CEO. It pulls the master switch, and it floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. This is why you cannot think. This is why you stutter. Your IQ literally drops. Your body is preparing for physical combat. or a dead sprint. But you cannot fight your boss, and you cannot run from the coffee shop. So the energy gets trapped. This is where the glitch occurs. In a fight against a tiger, you have 3 standard options: fight, flight, or freeze. But in a social hierarchy, there is a 4th option. This is called the Fawn Response. This is the nice guy subroutine. This is the people pleaser virus. When a weaker wolf is cornered by an alpha, it does not fight. It exposes its throat. It lowers its belly to the ground. It makes itself small. It signals submission. This sends a chemical signal to the predator. It shuts down the aggression. It buys safety at the cost of dignity. You are not being polite when you agree to things you hate. You are exposing your throat. You are signaling to every predator in the room that you are prey, that you are a resource to be harvested. You think you are avoiding conflict, but you are not. You are merely internalizing it. You are swallowing the war. You are taking the external battle and turning it into a civil war inside your own organs. We must descend into the darkness. We must examine the cost of this submission. You exist in a world of predators. This is not cynicism. This is nature. Humans are apex predators. There are entities out there, narcissists, Machiavellianness, psychopaths, or simply the ambitious and the ruthless. They are constantly scanning the environment. They are like sharks sensing blood in the water. They are looking for signals. They are looking for the fawn response. When they find you, they do not see a person. They see a battery. They see a source of labor to be exploited, a source of validation to be consumed, a source of narcissistic supply. And because you fear conflict, you open the door for them. You invite them into your fortress. You hand them the keys to your nervous system. You believe that if you feed them, they will eventually be full. They will eventually leave you alone. This is a delusion. The appetite of a predator is infinite. The more you give, the more they will take. But the damage is not just external. The true rot happens inside. The psychologist Carl Jung spoke of the shadow. The shadow contains all the parts of yourself that you repress. Your aggression, your selfishness, your capacity for violence, your darkness. When you avoid conflict, you are shoving these parts of yourself into the basement. You are locking the monster in the dark. But the monster does not die. It grows hungry. It grows resentful. This is why the nice person is often the most dangerous person. They are a pressure cooker with the valve welded shut. You feel resentment. You feel bitterness. You feel a low-level rage, humming in the background of your life like a broken refrigerator. You create covert contracts with the world. You think, I sacrificed for you, so you should sacrifice for me. But you never signed this contract with anyone. You only signed it in your head. And when people do not reciprocate, you feel betrayed. This rage turns inward. It becomes depression. It becomes anxiety. It becomes autoimmune disease. The body keeps the score. Your body is attacking itself. Because you refuse to attack the problem, you are living in a state of chronic inflammation. Not just biologically, but spiritually. You are suffering from the lie of virtue. You tell yourself you are a good person because you do not fight, because you are harmless. Nietzsche dismantled this lie. He said that if you are incapable of cruelty, you are not virtuous. You are merely harmless. A rabbit is not virtuous because it does not eat the wolf. It is simply a rabbit. It has no choice. Virtue requires capacity. Virtue requires the capacity for violence and the discipline to control it. Right now, you are the rabbit. You are hiding in the burrow, hoping the world will be gentle. The world will not be gentle. The world is a grinder, and you are throwing yourself into the gears. It is time for the pivot. It is time to shatter the illusion. You believe that conflict leads to disconnection. You believe that if you disagree, people will leave you. Let them leave. If your relationship depends on your submission, it is not a relationship. It is a hostage situation, and you are the hostage. You must understand a fundamental truth of human psychology. People do not respect what they can control. They use what they can control, but they do not respect it. Respect is born from resistance. Respect is born from boundaries. Respect is born from the word no. When you push back, you trigger a re-evaluation in the brain of the predator. You disrupt their prediction model. They expect the throat to be exposed. Instead, they find a wall. They find steel. This causes a dopamine prediction error. Their brain must now recalculate your value. Suddenly, you are not a resource. You are a player. You are a sovereign entity. Conflict is not the end of connection. Conflict is the forge of reality. It is how we determine truth. It is how we negotiate value. It is how we define where I end and where you begin. Without conflict, there is no you. There is only a blur, a grey smear of compliance. You must stop viewing conflict as danger and start viewing it as data. It is information transfer. It is high bandwidth communication. It is necessary. You must become comfortable with the heat. You must learn to stand in the fire and not burn. You must stop fawning and start fighting, not with fists, but with presence, with silence, with truth. It is time to install new protocols. We need to rewrite your operating system. We need to give you tools to override the Amygdala Hijack and remain in the CEO seat. Here are the protocols for the sovereign. Protocol 1. The biological override. Conflict triggers a physical collapse. Your shoulders round forward. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your eyes dart. This is the body preparing to hide. You cannot think your way out of this. You must manually override this signal. Before you speak, you must hack your own vagus nerve. Stand up. Occupy vertical space. Pull your shoulders back. Expose your chest. This sends a signal from the body to the brain. It says, we are not hiding. We are not fleeing. Take a deep breath into the stomach. Hold it for 4 seconds. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It clears the cortisol fog. Do not speak until you have reset the machine. Silence is your first weapon. Most people rush to fill the silence because silence feels like tension. Let the tension exist. Let it hang in the air. Let the other person choke on it. By breathing and standing tall, you are telling your biology that you are the predator, not the prey. You are stabilizing the chassis before you fire the weapon. Protocol 2. The grey rock algorithm. When you are in conflict with a toxic entity, they want a reaction. They want emotional data. They want to see you cry, or yell, or plead. This is fuel. This confirms they have control over you. You must deny them this fuel. You must become a grey rock. Boring, impenetrable, uninteresting. You must strip your voice of all tonal modulation. Speak in a flat, monotone frequency. Do not defend. Do not explain. Do not justify. We call this the JAD filter. Never justify. Never argue. Never defend. Never explain. When you explain, you are submitting to their judgment. You are asking the judge for mercy. Stop explaining. State your position. And stop. If they attack, do not counterattack. Simply restate your position. Be a broken record. Be a glitch in their matrix. They cannot manipulate what they cannot move. You become a mirror, reflecting nothing but their own insanity. Protocol 3. The velvet guillotine. This is the art of the polite refusal. You do not need to be aggressive to be dominant. You can be soft and lethal. When someone crosses a boundary, you must execute the boundary immediately. But you do not need to yell. You use the velvet guillotine. You look them in the eye. You maintain unwavering eye contact. This triggers a primal dominance signal. And you say, "No, that will not work for me." And then you engage the void. You stop talking. You do not offer an excuse. You do not say because my schedule is full. You do not say maybe next time. You simply say, "That will not work for me." And you wait. The silence that follows is the blade dropping. It's ever their expectation of your compliance. It is uncomfortable. Good. Sit in the discomfort. Watch them squirm. Watch them try to negotiate. Do not budge. The velvet guillotine is sharp. It cuts through the manipulation without making a mess. It is elegant. It is final. Protocol 4. The Socratic sniper. Toxic people often use gaslighting. They deny reality. They twist words. They make broad generalizations about your character. You must not get tangible with their insanity. You must hold up a mirror. When they insult you, do not get angry. Get curious. Ask them a question. Why would you say that to me? Are you trying to hurt my feelings? Can you explain exactly what you mean by that? Say this without emotion, like a scientist observing a rat in a maze. This forces them to explain their aggression. It forces them to engage the logic centers of their brain, which disrupts their emotional momentum. They will often stumble. They will backpedal, because you have refused to accept the gift of their poison. You have left it in their hands, and now they must hold it. You are turning the energy of the attack back onto the attacker. This is verbal Aikido. Protocol 5. The outcome detachment. The root of your fear is attachment. You are attached to their approval. You are attached to the outcome. You are terrified of losing the connection. You must practice the Ronin mindset. The Ronin is the masterless samurai. He serves no lord. He needs no approval. He walks his own path. You must be willing to walk away from any negotiation, from any relationship, from any job, if the price is your sovereignty. The moment you are willing to walk away, you become the most powerful person in the room, because you cannot be leveraged. You cannot be bought. You cannot be threatened. You are free. This is the ultimate power of conflict. It reveals who is willing to lose, and he who is willing to lose cannot be defeated. Visualize the worst case scenario. Visualize them leaving. Visualize them firing you, and realize that you will still breathe. You will still exist. You will still be you. Once you accept the worst outcome, you are invincible. We must ascend. We must look at the new landscape. When you lose your fear of conflict, you become unstoppable, not because you are fighting everyone, but because you are no longer fighting yourself. The internal civil war is over. The energy you used to spend on anxiety, on scanning for threats, on rehearsing arguments, is now liberated. Think of what you can build with that energy. You have more bandwidth. You have more focus. You have more power. People will notice the change. They will sense a shift in your gravity. The predators will move on to easier targets. They do not want a fight. They want a meal. And you are no longer food. The people who remain will be the ones who respect you, the ones who can handle the truth. Your relationships will deepen, because they will be based on reality, not on a performance of niceness. You will walk into a room, and you will not worry about what they think. You will not scan for danger, because you are the danger, not because you are malicious, but because you are real. And in a world of masks, the real face is the most terrifying thing of all. You are the rock and the river. The water flows around you. It crushes against you, but you do not move. You do not erode. You remain. You are the sovereign. You are the architect of your own reality. Do not fear the conflict. Fear the silence of your own submission. Fear the death of your soul by 1,000 polite nods. Break the silence. Win the war. We are Mind Ministry, and we are watching.